Salute, Nick family. Welcome to the channel, Dope Soul Sports Talk, Dope Soul Knicks, talking about the NBK family. I'm Stephanie, your host, aka Queen. How we feeling this morning? How are we feeling? Let me know if you can see and hear me okay. I should. Hold on, hold on. It's a rough morning trying to get ready. All right, let me know if you can see and hear me okay. As far as the chat is concerned, the poll, 57% of you are okay. 21% feel terrible this morning as far as the Knicks are concerned. And 21% looking real good. I think I'm in the looking real good. I don't know if, well, I don't know if I should say looking real good, but I would say that I am encouraged by the fact that Julius Randle did not shoot well. Jalen Brunson did not shoot well. There was a 30-18 Boston lead after the end of the first quarter, and the Knicks do what they do. They stayed in it. They stayed gritty. They stayed focused, and they climbed back into this game. And given how Brunson and Randall shot, I feel really good about us going forward. And shout out to RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley. We'll get into them a little later for their performance um, last night. So I appreciate everybody being in here, being in the chat, the replay gang. I appreciate you as well. If you haven't already, hit that like button, share the show on your social media platforms, and the replay gang, leave a comment down below. All right, let's get into the starters. We started our usual: Jalen Brunson, Quentin Grimes, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson. Everybody of importance was available for the New York Knicks. Boston started Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jalen Brown at the 3, Jason Tatum at 4, KP at at the center. Um, Boston poses a lot of problems with this starting lineup, particularly KP. He's 7'3", but he's not a traditional center. Likes to play mostly from the outside, shooting threes. However, you still get rim protection, right? He had 4 block shots last night. But this Boston team, shout out to MC Light, is paper thin. They really just go 6 deep. The other 3 players who played for them, each of them played less than 14 minutes. And I think Pritchard, who I thought would be huge for them off the bench, given their lack of depth, played less than 10 minutes. So they better hope KP can stay healthy. Horford is a big part of what they do. He's aging. So even though their top 6 is probably may even be better than most top 6s in the league, this team is really paper thin. Um, that being said, let me get into my observations of the game. I'm just going to start with the game first, and then I'll get into the players. And of course, I'll check in with the chat. Good morning to everyone. Hopefully, everyone is in a good mood. Hopefully, we're encouraged and not discouraged by what we saw last night. And I don't want anything bad to happen to the refs today. But if they get a parking ticket or something, I wouldn't be mad. Um, all right. The Knicks came out sluggish, 30-18 Boston after 1. KP had 15, Tatum 10 points right off the rip, right? Barrett led us with 8 in the first. Brunson, we'll get into Brunson. He played well in the second and third quarter shooting wise, but in that first quarter, he was 0 for 5. Randall was 1 for 7. If it wasn't for Barrett, who led us with 8 points, it might have been worse than it was. Excuse the Hartenstein impresses Roby makes roster. I meant to change that. In the second quarter, we made a push. We outscored them in that second quarter, 28-21, to be down just 5 at the half. IQ had 8. Barrett had 6. Brunson rebounded in that second quarter with 5 points. He was 2 for 4 overall, 1 for 3. Grimes had 5 points. So we really made a push in that second quarter. And this is what I like about the Knicks. We got to get off to better starts. No doubt about it. And we usually do. Last year, we were a really good first quarter team. Last night, we were not. But this team is always going to fight. Like, that's part of our identity. I'm not sure if we got blown out last season at all. I'm not sure we did, because we fight, we claw, we play with a lot of grit. We were down 5 at the half. I was at Legend. Shout out to Simeon and MBK fam. Shout out to Ajay, one of the resident panelists on the Just KNICKIN show. He was there last night. He kept saying, if we go into halftime down 5 after this or less after this start, we're winning this game. And we came pretty close. That third quarter, we outscored them 31-26. Excuse me. In the third quarter, that's not what I meant to say. In the third quarter, they outscored us by 4. Brunson was good again in this third quarter. 3 for 6, 2 for 2 from 3. He had 8 points. Randle, not so much. 3 of 9, 1 of 5, 1 of 5 from 3. Then in that fourth quarter, we do go up by 6 in the fourth quarter, right? We hit some really timely shots. And this is what's important. When you look at a box score, you see somebody scored 25 points, 30 points, or maybe somebody only scored 8 points. You really can't. I mean, that's important. Whatever they scored, we need. But timely shooting is important as well. Like, when you score, that's important, as well. A person could only have 8 points, but they had it in the fourth quarter when we needed it. KP, he had 12 points in that fourth quarter. Barett and Quickley, and again, I think we had like a 6-point lead in that. We were able to get a 6-point lead in the fourth, but we really couldn't hold it. Barett and Quickley, again, 8 points for us in that second quarter. They were really good for us. Like, they were the stabilizing force, and everybody else contributed around them. Brunson falls off again. In pretty good in the second and third quarter. The first quarter, horrible shooting. Fourth quarter, 1 for 6, 0 for 3 from 3. Randle, 1 for 3, no rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. We actually outscored them in that fourth quarter, 31-26. We wind up losing, by 4 points. So I appreciate, like I said, the grit in this team. I'm encouraged that we didn't shoot it well, or at least our 2 best players didn't shoot it well, and we were still in that game. I'm encouraged by RJ Barrett. If this is the RJ Barrett we're going to see for the rest of the season, I think this raises the ceiling for the Knicks, in my opinion. And I get it. I was reading some of the chat comments before I came on. Some people are still, I don't know if down might be a little strong, but still concerned that RJ Barrett didn't shoot efficiently, and he didn't. He was 8 for 20 overall. He shot well from the free throw line. From the free throw line, he was 6 of 7, and from 3, he was 2 of 5. I like the fact that he only took 5. Bring that shit down. I just think he takes too many threes. But last night he took 5. He made 2 of them. Yes, he missed a critical one in that fourth quarter. But overall, I really liked RJ Barrett, his floor game, his decision making, finishing at the rim, playing with confidence. I thought his defense was solid. Let me know what you think, what you thought about RJ Barrett's defense. I thought his defense was solid last night, and he looked comfortable. He only revved it back to the near half court, and drove 1 time. Other than that, he played within the flow of the offense. He got people involved. He wasn't, a lot of times when RJ Barrett last season would get the ball, we know what's about to happen. He about to drive, put his head down. He about to drive to the rim. But this time, I thought his decision making was good. Let me know what you think about RJ Barrett. I thought it was a poor officiating game. That's not why we lost. We did not lose because of the officials, but they was horrible. That flopping call on Jalen Brunson, like, give me a break. He landed on Tatum's foot. Any other time, that's a foul on Tatum. And as Geoff pointed out in the chat, Brunson is going to the foul line for 3 shots. Now, maybe he exaggerated the maybe, because it was a tweak of the ankle. He did look like he got shot out of a cannon. So, maybe he might have embellished it. But the fact of the matter is, it was a foul on Tatum. RJ Barrett driving to the lane. Jaylen Brown, pulling on his shirt. Like, what is going on? Now, Brunson, Randle shoot better. We shoot better from the free throw line. It doesn't matter what the officials do. We win that game regardless, right? We shot 53.8% from the free throw line. 53.8%. Let that sink in. A professional NBA team. I think RJ Barrett was 6 of 7. Emmanuel Quickley might have been, 6 of 8 or whatever he was. He shot well from the free throw line. Everybody else was trash. I mean, I wasn't concerned about the game against Washington, that tune-up game where, the rotations was going to be similar to how they're going to be in the regular season, and guys are going to, play more minutes to kind of tune up. And we looked horrible. And I wasn't really concerned. But maybe I should have been. Brunson probably played 30 minutes all preseason, and it looked like it. He looked slow to me. He was able to get to his spots and get his shots, but, they fell short, front of the rim, a lot of times, particularly in that first and fourth quarter. So am I concerned about Brunson? Absolutely not. Am I concerned about Julius Randle? Absolutely not. I'm just not concerned. And I hope you guys are not concerned after one poor shooting game from those two. I hope you're not concerned. But they need to be better. They need to be better. And I believe they will be when we play Atlanta. I believe that's Friday night. I don't like Josh Hart at the power forward position. Now, he had, I think, 6 rebounds in 22 minutes. So, I don't know if he was, I can't say he was beat really bad. I just don't like it. Him out there with Horford, who's what, 6'10" or something. I don't like it. Obviously, we have to see it longer. Once the stats come out, we'll see if we're at a disadvantage with Hart at the power forward position. But I don't like it. I like Tibbs. I like Tibbs sitting, Randle and Brunson. Randle still, it was like 34 minutes. Brunson still had 32 minutes. But I thought that, was it the third quarter, the second quarter, they sat more than usual. Like they would usually come in at a particular time, but they came in a little later because the team that was in was playing really well. I liked that. I also liked when we played Brunson and Quickley together. You don't want to start them together. All right. I get it. But when you have Brunson and Quickley in there together, they may have overlapped maybe 5 minutes. It wasn't long. You got a dynamic backcourt now. Any one of those guys can bring the ball up. They can play off of each other because both of them can play on and off the ball. So it makes your backcourt more dynamic. It takes pressure off of Brunson having to bring the ball up every single time. So hopefully we'll do that. We'll do that a bit more. Robinson played 22 minutes. Part of it was foul trouble, but I also think part of it was just that he's just not a good matchup with KP. He's just not. Moving his feet on the perimeter, his instinct and the scheme as well is to protect the rim. And when you're guarding somebody like KP, you basically have to. You got to change either you got to change your schemes, or whoever's guarding him have to stay with them, and those behind him figure it out. Figure it out. He's a tough cover. You know, all of that being said, Boston only shot 31% from three. They didn't shoot well from the three. KP did though. KP did. All right, let me check in with the chat before I get to individual um some individual stats. Thomas Banks, appreciate you joining us this morning, joining me in the chat this morning. IQ and Brunson need to start. Bring Grimes off the bench. Somebody did say in the chat I was reading that, Grimes may get more shots with the bench. That's possible. Does anybody have concerns that when you put Quickley in that starting lineup, that there's not enough balls to go around between him, Brunson, RJ, not enough shots to go around between him, Brunson, RJ, and Randle? Any concern that Quick can't really be quick because he's not going to be one or two on the pecking order in terms of shots, whereas on that second unit, he's probably first on that, in the pecking order, first or second. RJ runs a lot with that second team. So I like it. I think we gain in the sense that both of those guys can handle the ball. Both of those guys can initiate the offense. Now you can get, shout out to State, who was on the post game, the MBK post game last night, and he was right in terms of wanting to take advantage of Jalen Brunson's catch and shoot ability. But in order to do that, you have to have somebody else that can handle the ball, and I think if you have IQ in that starting lineup, you get that, right? Now Brunson, can play off the ball some. But any concern about how that impacts our second unit? I think our second unit, the bench outscored Boston. They're paper thin anyway, 38-12. They outscored them 38-12. But let me know in the chat if there's any concerns about what our second team would look like if IQ started. Because again, I like the idea of having two guards that can handle the ball. IQ played better than Jalen Brunson. Yes, he did. No doubt about it. Pablo, and we could try it, but I don't think IQ can guard the other team's best players. That's why Grimes is there. That's a very good point, because Grimes, as Tony Crow from Knicks and Bruises, shout out to him, likes to say, Grimes guards up, right? He's a two guard, but he can guard a three. Last night, he guarded Tatum, who's a four, right? And so you're right. As far as the defensive versatility, you put IQ in that first unit, you're not going to have that. You're not going to have that at all. So now you have RJ on the best players. And I thought RJ defensively was solid last night. Let me know what you think about it. But I thought he was solid. Geoff, shout out to you. I like IQ's role. He played more minutes than any of the other twos. Yes, he did. And I think, DiVincenzo played 14 minutes. Is that set in stone, or is it going to be your minutes, your second half minutes? And somebody said this on one of the shows. Your second half minutes are going to depend on what you do in the first half. That's it. IQ was lights out for us in the first half. He played more minutes. Is he going to be a 28 to 30 minute a guy, player? Will he get those minutes, or does it depend on how they're playing? Okay. All right. Kerry Cox, shout out to you. Senzo was bad last night. He was. But are we down on him, or do we think it's just going to take him some time? Because think about it. He's the only one that wasn't here last season, right? So he has the biggest adjustment to make. So how are we feeling about DiVincenzo? I knew my boy iHeart would play well. Now he's closing games. Wow. Is this going to be every game that he closes? I'm not sure. I think it's going to be situational. He played KP okay. KP still dropped 30 though, but I thought he did okay guarding him. I think we asked the centers to do a lot, our centers to do a lot when we play, stretch fives, because we're asking them to. You saw it, both Mitch and Hartenstein. You got to stop the drive and then recover back to KP. That's a lot. That's a lot. All right. Let me see. Drip more, appreciate you. We don't know how Brunson felt after landing on dude's foot. Yeah, what quarter did that happen? Because again, Brunson played really, really well, and he shot really well in that second and third quarter. The first and fourth, he was horrible shooting the ball. Yes, Dwayne Dennis. Randle and Brunson didn't have great offensive games, but Randle did have double-digit rebounds and had 7 assists. Brunson had 6 assists and also 3 steals. 2 of them he caught right out the air. We definitely could have won this game. No doubt about it. No doubt about us. I love Brunson, but he cost the game. He missed the tech, then missed the layup the next possession. He wasn't great. I don't know if he lost us the game, unless you want to say that your best players have to show up. And if that's your reasoning, then I definitely agree with that. But I don't know if that's what lost us the game, but it didn't help. Put it that way. It didn't help. All right. Let's talk about some of the players. All right. RJ Barett played 36 minutes. I don't know if that's what it's going to be or if it was just because he played well last night. 24 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. 24 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Shot just 40% from the field, but 40% from 3 and 85.7% from the free throw line. I thought he came out sharp. He was good from the start. I loved his decision making, his floor game. He shot the 3 well, 2 for 5, and only shot 5, which I liked. Like I said, his defense was solid, 6 or 7 from the free throw line. He went to the line 7 times. That in and of itself, that's a big part of what we do. We don't shoot the free throws well, not this poorly, usually around like 70, 2-3%. But we go to the line a lot. I think we were 8th in getting to the line. And so if you don't shoot them well, make sure you get enough of them up and give yourself an opportunity to score points. He went there 7 times, he made 6. Emmanuel Quickley, 24.6 rebounds, 3 assists, shot the leather off the ball, 63.6% from the field, 71.4% from the 3-point line, and 83.3% from the free throw line. He was lights out. He was impressive just in terms of the command he had of his game. I thought his decision making was good. When to set up the team, when to look for my own shot. He was impressive. Let me know what you think about Quickley. I thought his floor game was really good. Played in control. If this is him, if this is RJ Barrett for the rest of the season, if this is Emmanuel Quickley for the rest of the season, let's feel encouraged, right? Because that's the question for me. Behind Brunson and behind Randle, who do we have? Who do we have? You know, Consistently is what I mean. And those two played really well. I talked about how I liked him paired with Brunson. Brunson in 33 minutes, 15 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds, 3 steals, but did not shoot well from the field, 28.6% from the field. 37.5% from the three-point line, which is good. That's good. And 0 for 1 from the free throw line. He only went to the free throw line one time. I think he averages about 5 free throws a game. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. So Brunson was just offensively was off. Now, he still got to his spots. He still got his shots. In that first quarter, they were short. Like he was missing some chippies. So I'm not going to act like he was struggling and couldn't get to the rim and was shooting air balls and bricks. He was right there. They were chippies, that missed. I'm not concerned, but I just need you to be sharper. And you can argue that, we wanted to rest him, or that's what it looked like. Coaching staff decided to rest him in the preseason. And with rest, for some players, comes a little rust. So maybe these first few games for him, Josh Hart looked okay. RJ Barrett looked good, and he played, in FIBA as well. But he also played through the preseason. Maybe Brunson should have played a little more in the preseason. Let me know what you think about that. Randle, 14 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. If you're just looking at the counting stats, that is fantastic. Shot 22.7% from the field. No, Randle did not shoot 37.5% from two. From the 3-point line. Randle shot, let me see. Sorry about that, but I want to take the time to get it right. Randle, oh, he did. He did. Yes, he did. He was 3 of 8. Okay, so he was 3 of 8 from the 3-point line. 37.5%. That's good. That's, I think, above average for power forwards at the 3-point line. So he was 3 of 8. The free throws, that was it. 1 of 5. Shot 20% from the free throw line. So again, they didn't shoot it well, but as someone pointed out in the chat, we were able to get some, as Ron likes to say, some ancillary stats. The 11 rebounds, 7 assists. For Brunson, the 6 assists, the 3 rebounds, the 3 steals, but the shooting just wasn't there. The Knicks also, they shot 37.1% from the field. They took 97 shots and hit 36. Shot really well from the 3-point line, 43.9%. That's excellent. That's almost sniper numbers. They took 41, they made 18. And as you can see from the free throw line, this is a professional basketball team. Come on. You go to the line 26 times, you hit 14. It's a problem. But I do want to point out the volume game that the Knicks play. They took 20 more shots than Boston. Boston took 77 shots. They hit 37 of them. So they shot a good percentage, 48%. But if you don't shoot well, you want to get more attempts up at the basket. And the Knicks got 20 more shots than the Boston Celtics. Boston also went to the line 26 times, but they hit 22 of them. You can argue that the disparity in free throw shooting was the difference in the game, right? Tatum, 34 points, just killing us in the first. He was just in his bag deep. You know how you try to get the last little crumbs out of that Lay's potato chip bag? And you just dig your hand all the way down to the bottom. Tatum was deep into his bag in that first half. 34 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, shot almost 60% from the field. 37.5% from 3, 83.3% from the free throw line. Porzingis, 30 points, 8 rebounds, 4 blocks, 53.3% from the field, 55.6% from 3, 90% from the line. There's some drop off after that. White, 12 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. Brown did not play well. 11 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. They're top heavy, to be sure, but again, they're paper thin. And I like the Knicks against Boston. We're a deeper team. We have more players that can score. Even if, Tatum and Porzingis do their thing, if our entire team shows up, we could definitely be right there. Let me check in with the chat. Building blocks, Steph, I just hate losing to Boston, period. Period. No moral victories to me when it comes to those cats. No doubt. I hear that. I think Geoff Klafter feels the same. Dwayne Dennis, foul shots were the difference in this loss for sure. A couple of more made free throws, and we're celebrating a big win. Yeah, I can't argue on that. With that, there's plenty to build on. A win would have been nice. Up 6 with 4 minutes left. You have to close that out. But the thing about it is your closers have to perform. I agree with you, Geoff. You up 6 with 4 minutes left. You got to close. But how do you close? You close by hitting your free throws. You close by having your best players show up. You close by hitting timely shots. You close by getting timely stops. And the Knicks just weren't able to do that. I think I read off the numbers in that fourth quarter. You trying to close. Brunson is going 0 for 5. Randle's going 1 for 3. Puts a lot of pressure on the other players who are usually in supporting roles when you're trying to close out a game. Now they're in leading roles to close out a game. And that makes a difference, I think. Let me know what you think about that. All right, a few more for the chat before I move on. Slat, welcome. I'm not sure if this is your first time listening to the show or your first time being in the chat. If so, welcome. Hopefully you'll come back. I'm not mad. We look good. Just need to hit free throws and missed a lot of bunnies at the rim. Yeah. We definitely did. He said he loves the show. Always tuned in. I appreciate that. Jerrell, we hit more free throws, we win the game. I'm not overreacting on this loss. Yeah, me either, Jerrell. Me either. And it seems like most of the chat, we got 47 votes in the chat. So pretty much everybody, voted. And 72% of you said that the vibe this morning in terms of how you feel okay. 11% feel terrible. 15% think we're real good. And 2% feeling immaculate this morning. Okay, all right. I like that. All right. This is just a visual of how the game went. And you can see from the first quarter to the beginning third maybe of the fourth quarter, it was all Boston. Then when the fourth quarter, we took a little lead. You see that blue? We took a little lead. And then the last little piece is green. And that's Boston taking the lead back and closing out the game. So that's a visual. The biggest lead for them was 12. The biggest lead for us was 6. The game was tied 6 times. There were 4 lead changes. Yeah. All right. This is just some other things to point out from the box score, other than the 4 guys that I mentioned. Robinson, foul trouble. KP, like I said, he played 22 minutes. Hart, I talked about. Excuse me, I cannot get rid of this cold. All right. Hart, 7 points, 6 rebounds, 2 of 4 from the field, 2 of 4, hit 2 3-pointers. If Hart is hitting 3-pointers for us, I like it. He was 2 of 4. I think he just gives up a lot of shots. Grimes, 11 points. He was 4 of 7 from the field, 3 of 6 from the 3-point line. Grimes shot the ball well. Not a lot of ancillary stats, though. Just 1 rebound, no assists, no steals, no block. Like he'll usually give you more than that. He played Tatum. I know that was a tough assignment. I don't think he impacted him at all. I don't think that has anything to do with Grimes. Tatum is just that dude. And we saw that last night. Isaiah Hartenstein, I thought, played well. 7 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 3 or 4 from the field, 1 or 2 from the line. He had 5 offensive rebounds. I think we'll get into this, in the next segment. But our second chance points, I think it was, I'm not sure what it was, but there was a significant difference in second chance points. And look at this. Randle had 4 offensive rebounds. Mitch had 3 offensive rebounds. Manuel Quickley had 2 offensive rebounds. Isaiah Hartenstein had 5. So that's extending the play. That's giving us extra shots at the basket. You shoot it, you miss, you get the offensive rebound, you get another opportunity. So we had 17 offensive rebounds last night. DiVincenzo, in his 15 minutes, he was 0 for 4, 0 for 3 from 3. He did have 3 rebounds, 2 assists, didn't turn the ball over. Randle didn't turn the ball over again. Also, so 11 rebounds, 7 assists. He didn't turn the ball over. Brunson had 2. But as a team, the Knicks had just 9 turnovers. And as much as, some of us complain about our offense, this is our formula. Get up more shots than the other team. Don't turn the ball over because you're losing possessions. We don't shoot well. We need every possession we could get. Get some offensive rebounds to give us extra possessions. We play the volume game because we don't shoot free throws well. And at least last season, we didn't shoot the ball particularly well. We weren't terrible, but we didn't shoot it particularly well. All right, team stats. Rebounding was nearly even, 47-46. We had 24 assists. They had 18. So for all of the ball movement, people, I thought the Knicks moved the ball, pretty well last night. I thought they made the extra pass. Guys I don't, sometimes look at that. Boston had 18 assists, but they shot 48% from the field. The Knicks had 24 assists. We shot 37% from the field. But for everybody who's on the ball movement, assisting, we out-assisted them last night. 9 steals for the Knicks. I mean, the Knicks are not a team that usually gets steals. But last night, we got 9 of them. Brunson had 3. Mitch had 2. Like, you're getting 2 steals from your center. Like, that's impressive. And he just played 22 minutes. Randle had 2 steals. RJ had a steal. Quickley had a steal. If we could start getting some steals, that would be that'll be great. Second chance points, 20-4. That means when they did miss a shot, they shot 48%. But when they did miss a shot, we got the rebounds. There wasn't any second chance points for them. We got 20 second chance points, but obviously we shot 37%. There was a lot of opportunities to get second chance points. Fast break, I think that's 18-7. Boston. Points in the paint, 42-24. 42-24. So that is the team stats. Let me see. I just want to make sure I'm not missing any points. Bench points, I mentioned that earlier. We had 38 bench points. They had 12. They don't really have a bench. So basically on their second unit, they have starters. They have starters on their second unit because they don't really have a bench. And those guys played a lot of minutes last night. All right, I'm going to preview this, and then I'll check in with the chat one last time, and we are out of here. I mean, it's early. I wouldn't put anything into offensive, defensive rating. This is just the first game. Or the standings. This is just the first game. Hawks lost their first game as well. So Friday night, both teams are going to be looking to get their first win of the season. Neither one of these teams wants to start out 0-2. I mean, this is not football. So in an 82-game season, you can still recover from 0-2. But I don't think they want to go. I'm pretty sure they don't want to go the route. Oh my God, I got Obi Toppin still in here. All right, I made a mistake here. So it's Jalen Brunson, Quentin Grimes, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. But for all the Obi Toppin fans, you know, you get to see his name one more time. For Atlanta, the projected starters are Trey Young, DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter, Sadiq Bey, and Clint Capella. But listen, Joe Johnson, 2 years ago, I think it was the 20th pick, he kept falling because he was, in that draft, he was, I think he was supposed to go top 10. He dropped to 20, right past the Knicks, by the way, to Atlanta. And he didn't start. He came off the bench. There's rumblings that before the season will end, he'll probably start over DeAndre Hunter. I think he had 19.7 rebounds. He handles the ball. He's going to be a problem. I'm not saying he's going to be a problem Friday. I mean, just throughout his career, he's going to be a problem. So that's the projected. Did I say Saturday? We played him Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I think we played him Friday. All right, what's next? Tonight, the Just Nickin' It weekly show. Me, Geoff, Ajay, Jerrell, and whoever else is going to join us tonight. We're going to talk about this game. We'll talk about a few other things. So be sure to join us tonight. Saturday morning, I'll be back with a morning recap show. Sunday morning, I'll be back with a morning recap show. Now, the Saturday and Sunday shows, if the recap shows fall on the weekend, it's a panel show. So I know Stafford's going to join me Saturday. I don't know if he's going to join me Sunday. But if there's anybody out there that wants to join, I know it's kind of early for the weekend, particularly Sunday. I might have to move that to 10. But if anybody wants to join on a Saturday or Sunday the weekend, join the panel, you're definitely welcome. Shoot me an email. I'll put my email here as well, but it's bksteph33@gmail.com. bksteph33@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Facebook, Dope Soul Sports Talk, and the Just Nickin' It podcast. Apple, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. I actually dropped one yesterday, and I talked about each play. I talked about Coach Tibbs. Basically, what I'm trying to do. Thank you, Stafford. He said he'll be there for both of them. Thank you, Jerrell. We do play Friday. Okay, yeah, we do play Friday. If a lot of times when you're on a panel show, you don't really get an opportunity to really expound a lot on why you feel the way you do. So the podcast I dropped yesterday was really about talking about each player and really expanding on why I feel the way I do about each player, about the coaches. It's a pretty long one. I think it's over an hour. So that's the one you listen to when you're driving to work, you're cleaning up the house, you're washing your car, because that's a pretty long one. Thank you, Kerry Cox, Hawks on Friday. I appreciate everybody, but I'm going to check in with the chat one more time before we get out of here. All right, let's see. Let's see what you guys are saying. Wiz, BKLA. I like that, Wiz. Having Obi still in, Freudian slip. Maybe a premonition to pick him up during the summer as a restricted free agent. I don't think that's gonna happen. Nice setup for the weekend. Yes, Knicks are nice. Appreciate you. Kerry Cox, Knicks still winning 49 to 54 games. Mega NYK, Queen made the slide while drinking her whiskey sour. I did get in late last night and had to get up early. And I didn't get up as early as I wanted to. So yeah, definitely that's where the mistakes came from. Not from drinking, but from getting in late. Jeff Klafter, great show as always. Appreciate you. The block stiff. Yes, thank you, Wiz. I didn't talk about it. I think they had Was it 11-0? I think they had 11 blocks and we didn't have any. I mean, Mitchell Robinson is usually ones that block shots for us. He only played 22 minutes. I doubt if he would have made up that disparity though. Okay, it's me. You would think JB and JR would have a better two-man game, pick and roll. Something has to be added other than my turn, your turn. Yeah, I hear you with that. Pick and rolls are tough unless you're running them with Mitchell Robinson or with Mitchell Robinson out the game, right? Because his guy is right there on the pick and rolls. So that's a tough one. But yeah, I definitely hear you with that. And I think when you look at Boston's offense, when I talk about wanting the Knicks to have you know, a scoring threat at center or even a stretch center, this is what I'm talking about. It just creates problems, right? And I'm not saying Boston can't be beat. It just puts a lot of pressure on your defense, particularly when you're pulling that defensive center out to the three-point line and you have players who can put the ball on the floor and get to the rack. You opening up those driving lanes for them because there's no center sitting back there in the key to block the shot or someone that they have to shoot over. Puts a lot of pressure on your defense. So when I say that's what I want, it's not, oh, I don't appreciate what Robinson does. I get it, but I'm just looking at what's possible if you do have that. And that's a tough combination. They got KP who can hit the three and also block shots. That's almost like a unicorn, right? That's what we used to call KP when he first came to the Knicks, a unicorn. Hit that like button. We got 46. I just hit it, 27 likes. So let's get that like button up to 46. Kevin Went, good morning. Glad the season is back. We all in from here. I saw a lot during the game, but what I seen the most is that Randle was more effective from the surgery because he wasn't in his peak physically. I mean, that's a good point. I think, sorry about that. He looked good in the preseason. He didn't look to me like he was hampered at all, but maybe it still is an issue. Maybe it is. Take a swig of Tussin. Yeah, I might have to. Buggy, this show needs to be sponsored by CNN. God Almighty, do it, Queen. Shout out to the chat. Blessings, health, and happiness. Let's keep our heads up. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Okay, he wants to see more pick and rolls. Congrats to iHeart but I don't think iHeart closing is new though. Right? I don't think that's new. All right, let me just get to this super chat. I'm having a hard time pulling it up. Oh, here we go. Jay Boogie, appreciate the super chat, my brother. I just want everybody to know IQ is not playing for the Knicks. When he hit that tray, he screamed at the office. He's playing for the league. That means a check. I will be at the game in Atlanta supporting. It's hard for me not to believe that there's definitely some extra focus and extra motivation. I mean, I think he would have been focused and motivated anyway, but I think there's probably some extra. What I like about Quick though is he understands that if he's going to get his money, it's not going to be because he came out there chucking and scoring a lot of points, because people are going to be able to see right through that. If you're going to get your money, it's because people see you being an all-around guard. They see your ability to play on and off the ball. They see your defense. They see your decision making. That's how you're going to get paid. And all of that was on display last night. All of that was on display last night. But listen, I'm not mad at the front office from saying, yo, you didn't play well the first half of the season or quarter of the season. You played well the second quarter, half of the season. You didn't play well in the playoffs. We want to see you this season before we dole out the money. Because remember, he's a restricted free agent. The Knicks, first of all, can still offer him a contract when free agency opens. Or they can wait till somebody else offers a contract and match it. So I mean, it's not bad business to say, nah, I need to see a little more before I give you a contract. Now, if you're going to take it on the cheap, we'll sign you right now. But if you want 136 million, whatever others in your draft class are making, you want that type of money? Okay, we got to see a little more. I don't see that. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Because clearly they offered him a contract. He just wanted more. That's my guess. He wanted more than what they were offering. Okay. All right. So now he's gonna play for it. And now the Knicks gonna have to come out if they want to sign him. They're gonna have to 5 years, 136 million or whatever, whatever it is. But he's gonna get paid from um, somebody. Kerry Cox, IQ balled out. Yes. Facts. That's smart business for the Knicks. And Quickley's betting on himself. Andrew, how are you? NBA is a hell of a drug. Wimby showed flashes of brilliance, but Luka delivered the dagger. Yes, I was listening to that game on the way home. I have League Pass, and I don't even get the most out of it usually. But this year, I am. Matter of fact, I'm going to watch some games this season. Sorry about that. All right. Same bogus playbook. They did nothing this summer. You think it was the playbook? All right. Paris Duggar. 2-10 start without Obi and Quickley as our secret weapon. Paris. Obi and Quickley as a tandem hasn't been a thing for 2 years. Right? Obi, 2 years ago, yeah, you could talk about that Obi Quickley connection. Last year, that wasn't a thing. And that was good for Obi because that was one of the things that I wanted for him. Stop having your game predicated on Quickley. You can only play with Quickley. You can only shine with Quickley. No. Last season, I didn't really see that Quickley Obi dynamic. Obi was in there shining on his own without Quickley, whoever he was in the game with. And shout out to Obi, he played, Indiana blew the team out. He only got 19 minutes. I don't know if that was because it was a blowout or if that's his role or whatever it is, but shout out to him. He's in a better place and hopefully in a better space. All right. I think I got yeah, we got to let Obi go, yo. It's over. I know, Jerrell. I hate that I missed the when I was doing the projected lineups. I hate Obi with it. It just opens up another can of worm, right? The Pacers just extended Rick Carlisle on a multi-year deal. Carlisle and Tibbs is not that far apart. I just want I just want to put that out here. IQ got to prove it in the playoffs. JB Brunson has done it twice. Yeah. Good point. Knicks can still match. Absolutely. I think teams in the league are going to be more competitive this season, so our team must bring it every game. Teams like the Magic and Nets will not roll over for us. No. Facts. Facts. Appreciate you, family. Be sure to join us tonight on the Just Knickin' It show. You guys make the morning really fun. I actually look forward to this show, and I will be back here. I'll be back tonight, obviously, for the Just Knickin' It show, but in the morning time, Saturday and Sunday. Oh, I do want to say, and I'll talk more about this tonight. Maybe I'll even have a slide. The two women who were on the show that we did that were all females, there's a mother-daughter tandem. That was Diva Locks, the mother, and Lady and the Chef. They have their own channel now called Two Knicks Chicks. So if you get an opportunity, Google, I mean, search for that and for YouTube, subscribe to their channel. They cover the Knicks and the New York Liberty. The Liberty season is over, so they'll be diving into the Knicks. I'll mention it again tonight, but the number 2 Knicks Chicks. If you get an opportunity, subscribe to their channel. Just trying to support everybody in the Knicks universe. Until next time, fam.
You tune in, that means you're feeling the vibe. The bell rung, you already been subscribed. Right now, the queen, she on live. Right now. Please pull over the whip, no phoning when you drive. Dope Soul Sporting with the talk. First lady from New York, New York. All my people, you rocking with the chat. Hit that. That like button would tell me where you at. You know, step from the MBK. Born and raised up MBK. Hey, real lady, where she holding it down. No matter way how you feel, she gon' greet you with a smile.
Sister, you one of a kind.
Yes.
Oh, sister, it's time you
That's
shine. Dope Soul.
Where you at? Where you at?
Dope Soul.
Where you at? Where you at?
Dope Soul.
What?
Dope Soul.
What?
Your soul.
Where you at? Where you at? You tune in, that means you're feeling the vibe. The bell rung, you